Hey everyone, Tom again from the State of Real, and today we're going to learn how to change a mirror on an F250. Behind me here, I have my 6.7 Power Stroke. This is a 2015, but this video should cover anything between 2011 and 2016 because the mirrors are the same. This is a Lariat, so it's power everything. Power telescoping, power mirror adjustment, power warming, and power folding. Essentially up top here, you could probably see these two little plugs, one on the top and one on the bottom. The one in the middle is, I think, a door sensor or something. Maybe not. But you take the top and bottom ones off. Then you have to take your mirror off. People use a pry tool. Well, I have pry hands, so you just pop this baby off. And then at the bottom, there's a little plug. Pinch and squeeze. That comes right off. And then since I took my mirror off before, this already is pretty much ready to be peeled back, but there's a bolt up top and the bolt down at the bottom in order to take that mirror off. The next thing we need to do is jump right in and start taking off the door panel. But underneath of here is this little plastic thing. You put a screwdriver under the bottom and pop it up. Try not to break it, because especially right now it's cold out. Put that over there. And there's two bolts there, and then there's another two bolts. Let me help you out here. So two bolts there, and then there's two bolts down here at the bottom. Since I took those four bolts off, this door feels pretty loose. You lift up, so that's what I'm gonna do. Then I'm gonna inspect what wires are here. What I'm hoping to do is just prop this up enough. Back here, this speaker wire can go back through. And now we can see the mirror clip, which has a little red tab on it. You need to pull back, be very careful with that. I'm gonna push it in, that's loose. I'm gonna route it underneath of the speaker wire, and it has a little pine cone of its own that needs to be separated from the door. I might attach a piece of string to this. That way, if it's difficult to get the mirror back routed through the door panel, I'll be good to go. But doesn't look impossible. I'm gonna start unbolting the mirror and we'll get that going. So I just picked up my 7/16 socket, an extension, and I'm gonna start taking these bolts off of the door. The one thing that I did want to bring out too is this magnet, because I don't know how else I'm supposed to get the bolts out if for some reason they fall down in the door. So I'm gonna keep this handy. That way when they start getting backed off, they don't fall all the way down into the door and me have to fish them out later. Whew. Got one, two. That one's making me a little scared because it does not want to come out very easily. So let's see what we can do here. Got it. And then the last one. Hopefully this mirror doesn't fall off and dent my door. So I got my hand on the other side just to prevent it from falling. All right, all the bolts are off. All right, so now that I'm on the other side, it looks like there was a little bit of a grab or adhesive to prevent this from falling the complete way off. But I gotta get the cord out through the door now. And it looks like it's jammed in pretty tight wherever it is right now. So I definitely want to attach my little piece of string, that way I can fish the new one back through. All right, so I have my twine attached to the plug on the other side. So now I'm just hoping that I can wiggle this thing back through. Looks like I can. There you go, there's my twine. Barcode on the back of that, that's what you're looking for in an OEM. This one's a little bit wet, so it's challenging to see. All right, so now in reverse, I got the new used OEM with the barcode on it. This fishing line back on here. And then I should be able to just kind of stuff this back in. See if I can get that line on the other side. Nope, can't reach it. Truck's too tall. So I'm just gonna fish this all back in there. I see it falling down on the ground on the other side. Stuff this wire into here until I get on that guard. I'm gonna hang the mirror here because I did that before. Just for safe measure, I'll hold onto this string wire on the other side just in case it falls. All right, folks, and it was that simple. I was able to fish this through to the other side. Just in case you couldn't see where that's coming through, it's actually coming through this little square here, going right in here. That's that little red tab that you have to push back on in order to release this plug, but you also then push down on this gray part like a traditional plug, but got the new one all fished through. So now time to put everything back together again. So I got one hand holding the mirror, the other hand is gonna be doing the spinning here. Same deal. I'm gonna be a little gingerly putting this back in so I don't lose any bolts. I licked the back of this bolt just so that it would stay in the socket. All right, so I got the first bolt set so I can let that mirror go. Pull the rest of this wiring harness back in. Put my plug back in. And then push the red tab in. We're good there. Put the speaker wire back through this plug, or through this hole. And then put this dampener back on. So at this point I could actually put my door panel back up, which I'd prefer to do that just because I don't want it hanging and possibly falling off and breaking. So I'm gonna get this off of there for a second. Okay, on the bottom of here I see a bunch of clips. Right in the door here you can see this little pocket. So one of them goes into there. And this has to also go over top of my lock unlock thing. My little doingly. To put the rest of the mirrors on for the bolt, or for the bolts on for the mirror. Actually, I'm gonna put these two bolts on and then we're gonna do a functions check to make sure that this thing is working properly. And we're gonna fold these real quick. Watch your speaker mirror there, almost crushed. Hold them back in. Clearly you can see that it moves up and down, left and right, it telescopes, and it folds in. So we're all good, I'm happy with that. So now let's put the rest of it back together. So now time to put the plugs back in. We can roll this little adhesive back up over the bolts if it stays. Speaker back up. Speaker's hooked back up. Put that back in. Time to put the bolts in the door. I left all my bolts where they fell, which was right inside the door panel itself. Got my 7mm. Time to put this baby back together. So these only have to go on hand tight. Now we're gonna put this plastic piece back in. It goes up into the top first, and then down in the bottom, and just give it a little push. All right, and that's all, folks. But until next time, guys, later.